standard song, a la George Gershwin or Rodgers and Hart.
Picture this: Los Angeles, 1979, backstage at the legendary Troubadour. The air buzzed with electricity. Guitars wailed through sound checks, glasses clinked at the bar, and legends drifted in and out of the smoky halls. Then chaos. A young assistant burst into the promoter's office, pale and shaken. Linda Ronstadt had stormed out of the green room. The reason? A single name on the performance list. No confrontation, no words exchanged, just an icy exit that left the room frozen. For years, no one knew what happened that night. Linda never explained. She gave no fiery interviews, no dramatic headlines. She remained the picture of composure, but decades later, the silence shattered. In a rare moment of unguarded honesty, Linda revealed the 7 musicians she never forgave, the ones who bruised her pride, challenged her artistry, and revealed the darkest corners of the industry she had fought to conquer. The first was a drummer who became a superstar, Don Henley. Before the Eagles soared, Henley was simply Linda's drummer and backup singer, grateful for the chance she gave him. In the early 70s, Linda was packing theaters coast to coast, and Henley was just another musician riding her wave. She opened the door to his career, but when the Eagles struck gold, Henley's humility evaporated. By 1975, the man who once tuned his drums for Linda was strutting through Sunset Boulevard like a king. The breaking point came backstage at the
It was
Universal
1968.
Amphitheater, when
The summer
Henley
of love
sneered that
had
Linda
passed,
should
but the
stick to
chaos
covers
hadn't.
and leave real
The do-
songwriting to others. It wasn't just cruel, it was dismissive of everything she had worked for. Linda revoked his tour credentials on the spot. Behind closed doors, she called him a climber who lost his soul-chasing fame. If Henley's betrayal was personal, Jim Morrison's was humiliating. In 1968, at a chaotic after-party near the Whiskey A Go-Go, Linda was pulled on stage mid-performance by a drunken Morrison. It wasn't charming, it was reckless. In front of a stunned crowd, he tried to kiss her. She pulled away, and Morrison stumbled, nearly crashing the stage setup. The whispers from that night became legend, but Morrison never apologized. Instead, he mocked her in a later interview, calling her sweet but spineless. Linda never clapped back, but privately she branded him a brilliant wreck who poisoned everything around him, a symbol of the toxic masculinity that suffocated women in music. Her next heartbreak came not from chaos, but from betrayal wrapped in politics. In 1976, Linda stood side by side with Neil Young at a farmworkers' benefit concert. She believed they were allies, fighting for the same cause. But backstage, Neil dismissed her input, blocked her from certain songs, and even told the press afterward that she wasn't built for protest. The implication cut deeper than any review. She wasn't authentic enough. Linda left the stage in tears and vowed never to share one with him again. To her, Young was loud in message but cruel in execution, proof that activism meant little when paired with arrogance. But nothing stung more than Frank Zappa's cruelty in the studio. In 1974, Linda walked in excited, hoping for a boundary-breaking collaboration. Instead, she was belittled. Zappa dismissed her ideas as sanitized, sneered that she was watering down real music, and then, in front of a full room of musicians, declared, "This is what happens when you hand real music to a pop singer." The humiliation was crushing. Linda packed up and left without a word. Friends later recalled that she described Zappa as brilliant but brutal, a genius whose cruelty left scars she never forgot. If Zappa's words stripped her confidence, David Crosby's betrayal shattered her trust. In the golden days of Laurel Canyon, Linda and Crosby were like family. But in 1978, during a recording session, she requested a simple key change. Crosby dismissed her, saying she should learn to adapt. The clash spiraled, spilling into the press. Crosby then twisted the knife in Rolling Stone, calling Linda manufactured. For a woman whose career was built on raw talent and instinct, it was devastating. She never confronted him publicly. Instead, she erased him from her world, his music banned from her playlists, his name forbidden among her band. To Linda, Crosby became a cautionary tale of ego and addiction destroying even the brightest souls, but the cruelty didn't end there. In 1979, Linda faced public humiliation at the hands of Elvis Costello. At a Cleveland festival, Costello mocked her performance, calling it background music for brunch. When Linda confronted him backstage, hoping for an apology, he doubled down, throwing another insult before walking away. For Linda, Costello represented a new kind of cruelty in music, not rebellion, not wit, but empty arrogance masquerading as artistry. The final name on her list was the most heartbreaking. Paul Simon in 1982. What should have been a dream collaboration quickly turned into a nightmare. In rehearsals, Simon nitpicked every note, rewrote lyrics without consulting her, and treated her as though she were a student, not a partner. Linda later described it as feeling scolded by a principal. The project collapsed, the duet unreleased, but the damage ran deeper. To Linda, Simon wasn't just difficult, he was a dictator. She swore never to share a studio with him again. 7 names, 7 betrayals, some personal, some artistic, some so public they left scars that never faded. Linda Ronstadt carried those wounds in silence for decades, letting the music speak instead of the feuds. And now, in breaking that silence, she hasn't sought revenge. She's revealed the truth that her legacy wasn't built only on talent, but on endurance, resilience, and a refusal to be broken by an industry that often tried to silence her, because behind every harmony lies a hidden story, and sometimes the greatest strength isn't in the songs we sing, but in the silence we choose to finally break.